So Harbaugh is now the Giants coach, which again, I'm on the fence about it, but the more I learn about him and the more I learn and more I read about it, it seems like a good fit. There's a guy named, we call him the license plate guy from the New York Giants. You've probably seen him at games. He's used to wear the license plates around his neck and they would, okay. He's like super involved in Giants. I don't know what he does for a living, but he's like super involved in Giants to the fact that he's sidelines everything. So he's championing the cause. I'm like, all right, he knows what he's talking about. You still have 8 vacancies in the NFL coaching carousel, and nobody's being interviewed until after the playoffs, which poses the question, how did Harbaugh get an interview before the playoffs ended? Because you're supposed to have that Fairness Act, right, that they have. And the dude got $20 million a year, 5 years, $100 million contract.
I don't know if there's actually a written rule that says you can and can't do certain things.
I thought it was the Rooney Rule. I thought or was that just minority? Maybe that was just the minority aspect.
I have to go with I don't know. I'm sure that it must be an unwritten rule. Otherwise, the Giants wouldn't have been able. They're not going to do something illegal or under the table that blatant, right?
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
I just don't know enough about, like you said, what the rules. I think it's more of an etiquette was the word I'm looking for. I think it's an etiquette thing more than a rule,
Yeah.
And in his case, he wasn't in the playoffs. The Giants weren't. There was no postseason implications for him talking, right?
No, but yeah, he just got fired last week. Just, and now
so that tells me nobody wants Mike McDaniel quite yet, right?
Jake said Mike McDaniel's going to the Lions.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. Because I thought Mike McDaniel was an OC. Uh-huh.
Well, they need one.
And there's rumors now that Daboll's going to Washington to be the OC. Like, that's cool because that means they'll suck because he was the OC called I mean, it is what it is. Like, you're a quarterback's coach, Daboll. Just go back to what you know, man. But yeah, McDaniels, Jake said, was going to Detroit. That's the rumor, which I could say. I think if you're a head coach and you get fired and Harbaugh's going to be that exception, you don't go be another head coach. I get the reason why. What's funny to me, and I thought about this last night, 3 weeks before this, the end of the season, it was Gruden. Where's Gruden going to go? Where's Gruden going to land? Nobody's talking about Gruden again. Nobody, which is crazy. There's a little rumor about him going to Tampa, but that was it. It was just a rumor. Nobody's talking about Gruden.
Well, then that means one of two things. Either his mind's already made up and he knows where he's going, or there's no interest, right?
True.
I would say it's probably the former. He probably already knows where he's going.